Hey YouTubers, X Factor here, and welcome to my brand new SimCity region. This is a blank canvas. The dictatorship has started. Let's talk about why I decided to do this. Number one, I used to be in a region with a lot of other people, 5 or 6 different people. They abandoned it for the most part. Well, why does that really affect you? Well, let's get to that. Great works. These are areas in which you share production and share some of these attributes, but it costs money to build this, and you got to supply workers. So what did I do? I built a solar farm on myself. I dedicated 600 tons of alloy, 45,000 processors, and 115,000 crates of plastic. That is millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Built it on my own. Then it required workers, 300 of them to be exact. Well, guess what happened? I could only supply roughly 130 on average, with my population being about 145,000. I didn't really have a means to grow my population because I was limited by space, because I was making so much money on processors and computer sales, right? Didn't want to cut into that. So that was a problem. The fix would have been this: claim another city that was connected to the Great Works, because that region was much larger. It had 3 Great Works areas in it, but only certain cities are connected to each one. So I went to claim one. Guess what? The guys who had abandoned their cities also claimed blank pieces of property. I couldn't even do that. I needed to start another city to get population to supply workers to the Great Works site. Wasn't happening. So after thinking about this for a couple minutes, I said, you know what? Let's do this on my own. I think I can do this. I had 80 million in the bank. I'm just going to walk away from that. I might mess around with the city every once in a while, but I'm literally going to work on 3 cities simultaneously. I'm going to get one started, then the next, then the third, and I think that should be enough to get me at least 2 of these going once I start getting my city specialized. So we're going to start off with something that's familiar with myself here at Riverbend. We're going to go back into mining. Of course, you want to check. Is there ore? Absolutely. Which way is the wind blowing? It's blowing out of town this way. So that's good news if I plop in a couple mines on this high side and the dump. It's not my problem anymore. It's the neighbor's problem, right? And air pollution isn't that big of a deal, really, especially when it's blowing out of town. So that's going to be the start. We got a nice chunk of land here with some pretty nice attributes to it, including some oil and coal, which might let me mess around with things. I'm going to try to push the population with this chunk of land. I could probably get roughly 130,000 out of it due to this big strip being gone of water, but then that'll give me a good means to ship product out of town efficiently. So when I get into oring, smelting, and the computers, I should be pretty good with this setup here. We're going to see how it handles, though, because I do have some limitations as well. So the new series is going to be pressed upon me starting this from scratch. You're going to see some of the learning, some of the mistakes I make, and an update every couple days. So I'm going to get this guy going, then start the next, then the third. When they're self-sufficient, I'll come back in and I'll start tweaking the 3 and get the Great Works projects going. And the idea is this: each city is going to research a different Great Works project. So I'll have 3 universities going, and I'll be able to do 3 of these. I believe this will fit. So I'll have to cut one out, and I'll figure which one I don't want. But I'm probably not going to do anything touristy because there's crime rate, and it's just a ton of headache. So I'll probably do 3 of these. I know I'm going to definitely do the airport and the solar farm because I'm all about making that money via exportation. So because I'm an exporter, right, like the Colombians. So hopefully you guys look forward to this. We'll see if I can do this without failing, because this is not sandbox mode. And you can see I'm probably not going to touch this city because it's just water, because you don't need water. You can make this infinite loop with your sewer plant and water plant. I'm probably going to mess with these 3 cities because they've got stuff that's worth money. So that's probably, this guy's probably the shitter of the group. That one looks pretty good too. So we'll figure it out from there, YouTube. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know if you got questions or comments, or what I should specialize in these other 2 or 3 cities, knowing I'm going into ore mining here and probably computers at least in one of my cities. We'll see you guys soon.